What is most? Why the fuck do you know that? Fact. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a really popular novel and was made into a stage play. The actor playing the eponymous roles was so good at switching from the good doctor to the evil Hyde that people wrote to the police claiming that he absolutely had to be the real Jack the Ripper, who was thought likely to be a qualified doctor based on the way he dissected his victims. They thought no normal person would be able to make such a transformation. Probably the most innocent fact here, but chickens, hens, have an egg song when they lay an egg. It's like them yelling, "I just laid an egg, woo," and then the other hens chime in yelling, "Yes, she just laid an egg, woo." Most dying people don't just slow down breathing and stop silently like the movies. The agonal breathing they do the last few hours or minutes is often startlingly loud, but it makes their quota so high that they are unconscious and not suffering. It's just hard on the hearer. An orgasm can stop hiccups. Imagine this, you are walking down the road and you see a car crash. Someone gets out of a car and you realize it's someone you know, so you call their name. They turn and crumple to the ground. What happened? They dislocated a bone in their neck, and when they turned their neck, they fully snapped it. There is a bunch of stories of this happening to people, which is very scary. Edit, it was a fracture, not dislocation. My apologies. Can confirm, I was on an ambulance service and witnessed this at a very minor traffic accident. The gal had internal decapitation and had no pain, so she was walking around when we arrived on the scene to treat a different person who had gotten cut fairly badly by glass in the accident. She dropped in front of us and was confirmed dead at the ED. Spiders don't have a penis, they use leg-like appendages to transfer sperm from their body to their mate. So basically they jerk off into their hand, and then fist their partner with a handful of sperm. Male hedgehogs masturbate for pleasure, and you have to be careful picking them up because sometimes they have semen on their feet. It's something you have to look out for when you are a hedgehog owner like myself. Hentai frequently depicts monsters having sex with women because of Japanese pornography laws. Sex between a man and a woman is porn and considered indecent, but sex between a human and an alien monster does not fit the definition, so it gets by. Saddam Hussein wrote a romance novel. Urine is historically one of the biggest exports that Newcastle ever had. It was used for a variety of purposes, especially for making ammonia to make paint. Is it also the secret ingredient for Newcastle beer? Please say no. You can neutralize the smell of a rotting corpse by covering it with the ashes of a common campfire. Any wood ash should work, friends. The last person who died building the Hoover Dam was the son of the first person who died building it. Ducks will fuck anything. Girl ducks, dude ducks, dead ducks, blue ducks, heck, even a dog if it does not fight back. Sounds like a horribly wrong Dr. Seuss poem. Probably not what you are looking for, but 1 pound of sugar per 1,000 pounds of concrete will ruin the concrete and it will never set firm. Dolphins have been known to tear the heads off fish and use their corpses as cock sleeves to masturbate. They also chew pufferfish to get high. That in Second World War the United States designed bet bombs, basically canisters filled with bets strapped with incendiary devices. The idea was that you drop them over a Japanese city, which were largely wood structures at the time. The bets roost in attics and so on, then after a certain amount of time they detonate. Soviets trained dogs as tank bombers, but, in actual combat, they would go toward the tanks they had been trained on. Man's best friendly fire. Not only is an elephant's penis prehensile, it's strong enough to throw a grown man around. If you put a needle into the gum line between the 7th and 8th tooth you will hit a nerve that runs past your nose and up to behind your eye. Hitting this nerve causes excruciating pain that no painkiller will help you with. You will basically need to be given local anesthetic or put in an induced coma to stop feeling it. The Atoro people of Papua New Guinea believe that their gods gave their tribe a finite amount of semen in ancient times, and they have passed on their stockpile of precious semen from man to boy for generations since. Hedgehogs shit when they run fast. Therefore, if Sonic the Hedgehog was real, he would shite himself to death. Fidel Castro loved dairy so much that he invested in trying to breed a cow that could survive in the climate of Cuba and still produce a lot of milk. He failed over and over for years until one day a cow that was exactly to his specifications. She produced obscene, record-breaking amounts of milk even for a regular cow and could live in Cuba's sweltering climate. There were regular updates on her health in the Cuban national newspaper, and he loved her so much that when she died he erected a huge marble statue of her in her honor. Many deaths in the Middle Ages resulted from pigs wandering into peasant homes and eating babies out of their cradles. It shouldn't, but this somehow makes me feel like my love for bacon over the past 33 years is now justified. Revenge does not have to happen in an instant. America dropped extra large condoms labeled small into Soviet territory to make the Russians feel bad. The way I heard it, during the Cold War an American condom company got an order for a large number of condoms 14 inches long from the Soviet Union. The company contacted the Pentagon and asked what they should do. The generals instructed them to manufacture and ship the condoms in crates marked medium. In ancient Rome, having a large penis resulted in being ridiculed. It was thought the bigger the penis, the dumber and more brutish you were. In other words, I would have been the smartest man in Rome. If you squeeze a male's testicles hard enough, the adrenaline overload can kill him. Do with that information as you wish. Rubbing alcohol has methanol and isopropanol, both really toxic for humans, put in it on purpose because without them, it would be subject to the taxes they put on drinkable alcohol. Bees can vibrate their bodies super fast, which produces a lot heat. In order for a hive to defend themselves from intruders like wasps, they will dogpile the wasp while vibrating and it will eventually cook the wasp alive. A raccoon can fit into a hole 4 inches wide. Your rectum is on average 2 and 5 inches wide, but can stretch to 8 inches wide without any permanent damage. A raccoon can literally crawl up your asshole. Don't ever underestimate raccoons. Turtles breath out their butts. So that's why my turtle died. Added, don't give me awards. Rasputin had a 13-inch penis. That penis is preserved in a Russian museum. No wonder he was Russia's famous love machine. About 1 cup of ground apple seeds contains enough cyanide to kill a human. Smoothie anyone. Butterflies sometimes drink blood. Dogs like squeaky toys because the noise reminds them of small animals dying. It's not actually known how anesthetics work. Also on the note of anesthesia, until the 80s, they were not used on babies because it was believed they could not feel pain. On average, you walk past 15 murderers in a lifetime. Human hair can be used to make an additive in foods like pizza crust and bagels. While I understand you are taking about the chemical makeup of hair, I feel I should point out that anything you add to pizza crust or bagels is, by definition, an additive. Examples: sand, sawdust, jizz, tequila, etc. You have 3 to 4 inches of dick inside you. That's what I say to girls during sex. Crocodiles are part of an order of predatory, semi-aquatic reptiles known as crocodilians. They appeared 95 million years ago, and their closest living relatives are birds, such as they are the only 2 species that survived the Archosauria. But the actual interesting part is they have 4 hearts. This is because they need to reduce oxygen loss when underwater. Their heart on average beats about 2-3 times per minute. This is to normalize the amount of time they have underwater, which is typically 10-15 minutes but can be up to 30 minutes. They can also go up to 3 years without food in extreme cases. During a long FBI undercover sting operation to uncover corruption in the Cleveland PD, the FBI used a t-shirt factory as a front for an illegal gambling operation. Not only did they turn a profit with the t-shirt company, but there are a few companies and bars walking around with t-shirts made by the FBI, including the Cleveland PD's softball team. Benjamin Franklin was arrested 3 times on account of gay anal sex. Basically, Ben was arrested for fucking his friend. That when they filmed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in Europe, there were not enough little people to play the parts of the Oompa Loompas. You see, it had only been about 25 years or so since Second World War, and Hitler exterminated most little people think they were inferior, so they had to bring them in from other parts of the world. Male honeybees nut so hard that the penis of the male explodes and they instantly die. Now that's a real honey nut. Thanks for watching. Share your story in the comment.